I think it's going to be our biggest and best year ever. And we couldn't do it without you. So without volunteers, Dragons on the Rock couldn't happen because we have Liz and Rod. So there you go. So thank you very much. And coming from a fundraising background, I know how important to be able to provide our mission volunteers are to the community. So I applaud you and I thank you for being a volunteer. And being new to the community, one of the things that I was really happy to see as I'm driving up and down the streets is that Michael Jackson's still alive. You know, I was like, really, in Janesville? I thought there was a rumor a few years ago that he wasn't, but I see that he is. So Janesville is a pretty important place. It's been so good to get to know the community too. So I've gotten to know quite a few of you already. So I was telling Liz and Ron, I'm so happy that I know some people. So thank you for welcoming me. Thank you to you for doing volunteer work for us. We're going to have other events coming up, so we will keep you posted on that. But we're really excited this year because we're getting some great sponsorships. We're going to have way more votes than we did in 2019. People are anxious to get out and have fun. So my thing is thank you to you and thank you for helping us provide our mission and accomplish our mission for Can Do. So thank you. I'm going to hand it over to Liz, and she's going to go over everything.
Thank you so much, Kathy. Please give Kathy another big round of applause. She brings a big, bold, huge, I don't even know what the word is, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious to Kathy. So, Kathy, thank you, and we welcome you. Welcome to you to our community. You're welcome. Okay, so as you all know, with COVID, I think I've spoken to almost all of you. For the last year, I've been home working. So if I'm a little, as you all know me, I lost energy. So if I start going, please just say, hey, please calm down. So you two, tell me. All right, Grace. Okay, thank you. So I know most of you, almost all of you know me. Christine, thank you for coming. I'm Liz Menz, and I am the Director of Marketing and Development. And like Kathy said, thank you so much to all of you for being here. So, I don't know, I guess, can everybody see me okay? I realize, yeah, okay. We want to invite you to Dragons on the Rock 2020. Now, we have some really cool new events that are going to be a part of this wonderful, wonderful festival. And one of the biggest things is, we have received ABC Supply as our title sponsor for Dragons on the Rock. So please, if you know anyone that works at ABC Supply, please thank them for the wonderful title sponsorship. They are amazing to, our entire community, to all of Rock County, and we are so thankful for them. So on the second side of things, we now have a Street Chef Challenge. A raise of hands, how many of you attended Party of the Pits? All right, so almost half. So during Party of the Pits, we had a King of the Grill competition where local chefs got up and they created their favorites, shared them with everyone that attended, and we had Carrie as they deemed the first, second, and third place chefs at the event, and then we had a People's Choice. So in the light of all of that, what we decided to do is roll that into Dragons on the Rock in the Street Chef competition. So same thing, Carrie is going to be our wonderful title sponsor for this portion of the event. We're going to be reaching out to our food trucks and chefs that were involved in Party of the Pits and have them be a part of this awesome competition. So more to come on that, but those are some exciting additions to our wonderful Dragons on the Rock. Hold on, let me. Andrew, just go?
Yes.
Hold on, technical difficulty. All right. Again, here is to all of you, our stellar volunteers. Thank you so very much. And I would love for all of you to give yourselves a round of applause for all that you do in our community. Not only just for Can Do, but for Dragons on the Rock in the past and now going forward. So thank you. Thank you for being here. And yes, together we make a big difference, right? Dragons crew, for those of you who weren't able to be with us in 2019, they are a stellar group themselves. They actually run dragon boat racing internationally. They fly all over the world to run their dragon boat races, so they're just stellar. Our new theme this year. So, for those of you who didn't participate in Contest of Creativity, what we did is we reached out to everyone, really in the universe, and asked for them to create what we were going to use as our promotional material for this year. So, this was our lovely winner for Dragons on the Rock for our title sponsor, for all of our promos. And then we also have a really cool, fun song that also won that we're going to be using for all of our media materials and things. Here is one of the races. So on the front of the boat, there is the drummer who is beating to the drum to help everyone paddle in sync. And in the back of the boat, they are all the coaches from 22 Dragons, so they're making sure that nobody's going to run into each other, that everybody is safe. All right, so we'll lead right into the Dragon Boat Race Committee. Raise your hands, how many people were part of the volunteers that helped with the Dragon Boats themselves? Awesome, thank you guys. Well, and we had one that was in the boat paddling, Deb was in the boat paddling as well. And, you know, what we need all of you to do to help support this event is to run the boat race and the registration. It takes a lot of people, like Kathy was talking about, to run this awesome event. We also need someone to help us with the drummer contest registration. I mean, I won't read everything that's up here. You all have it also on your table. But for the Dragon Boat racing, 22 Dragons needs a lot of helpers as well for like the marshals and all those kinds of things as well. So as we roll out with a volunteer coordinator, and in 2019 what we did do is we asked for one volunteer coordinator. Well, there's so much going on in this event, what we kind of decided to do is have one lead volunteer for each one of the committees. And then we'll have somebody still oversee the whole entire event, whether that'll be a can-do employee or one of you, if any of you want to do that. But then there's just a little bit more of easy check-in at the event. People know where to go, they know who to talk to, you know, those kinds of things. I know for all of you who were part of 2019, thank you so much for being there for our first event. And I know that there was a lot of learning to that, so we really appreciate you all coming back and being a part of that learning as well. The Street Chef Challenge. Now, the volunteer coordinator for this, what we will ask them to do is be the direct contact between Carrie, our folks at Carrie, and then with all of the chefs, just so there's an easy streamline. We did the same thing with Party of the Pits, and it really worked very well. So if any of you have that kind of background or knowledge that you want to, Elise, okay, awesome. You know, that's a really big job because these chefs are going to want to know what's going on. And Carrie is going to be meeting next week. Their marketing team is going to be meeting. They're going to hash out how they're going to run this wonderful competition. They're going to hash out who are the chefs that are going to be the judges. And then they're going to get back to me. And then, you know, at least, you know, you and I will work together and we'll get that figured out. So it's going to be an exciting thing. Also, just so you know, a side note, all of the patrons who want to come in and they want to taste the street chefs, whatever morsels that they provide, they're going to have wristbands and they'll have tear-offs. So when they go to each one of the food trucks or vendors or however we decide to lay it out, that'll be an easy thing. They'll just walk up, the place will take off their tab, and at the end of the day, everyone will be able to vote for People's Choice and throw their wristbands right into their People's Choice bucket of whoever chef that they want to vote for. We are also going to have special t-shirts for this, and we're going to have those for sale, so we'll work on that. Lauren, our wonderful graphic designer, is working on the logo for the Street Chef part of it. And one of the things that we do want to do is make sure that everyone in the community, so we're going to ask for all of you to help us with this, make everyone realize that Dragons on the Rock is this big festival too. In 2019, because Traxler Park is so big, there was a bit of a disconnect. A lot of people didn't realize that the festival side was part of the boat race. So let's work together on that. Fax Graphics is actually going to create bigger and better signs. I've already talked with Rock Aqua Days, and we're going to be able to put up those posters throughout the whole summer. So a lot of people, I think, will understand that it is all, all together. The festival committee. So this one is a big one too, of course. This is the one where we need volunteers to reach out to food trucks and the beer tent, the bartenders. On a side note, I'm really excited to report this. Carrie Ingredients has okayed that they're going to work with Gray's Brewing. Sarah, thank you so very much. Rock County Brewing, we talked to Shane a couple of days ago, and we are meeting with Amanda at Timber Hill Winery on Friday about utilizing a Carrie ingredient in their specialty drinks. So each one of the places will be able to have their own specialty drinks, all based on a Chinese ingredient. I have no idea how you're going to do that, Sarah, but how cool? How cool is that? So, and bands, one of the things that Shane did, he brought this up to Andrew and I, is for entertainment, we might want to rethink that. So as the committee forms and we sit down and talk, how we're exactly going to place the entertainment. Of course, because of COVID and the city of Gainesville rules and all of that, we're going to need to spread everyone out. So we're going to stay with that same map that we had in 2019, where all the food trucks had their place. But for the entertainment, we want to make sure that they're able to be heard. And, if you get a big place like that, we definitely, if we get a single lady or a gentleman who is a wonderful musician, we want them to be heard, so we'll work on that. The vendors and exhibits, kids' activities, with COVID, some of these things, of course, these are all of our wonderful ideas, right? But with COVID, we'll have to see getting closer to the event. Will we want to have a bouncy house? I don't know. So just know that these are just suggestions. That's why we have all of you, your expertise is to bring to the table of, okay, Liz, I know this person, or Andrew, I know this person, those kinds of things. The logistics committee. This is, I guess I'm just going to stop saying they're very important, because all of them are very important, so I'm going to take that off. We'll take that off my vocabulary for a moment. For our day of, we have a lot of trash cleanup, pickup, so we're going to need volunteers for that. Ice, one thing that we will have you do is reach out to some of our vendors and ask them if they don't mind donating, and if they mind donating, that's wonderful. If we do have to sign a contract, or if it's going to cost us some money, then just go through one of us that can do, and we'll help you with that, and then we'll take over, But we definitely want you to be the main contact for all of these vendors. First aid, ambulance, and EMT, we're working together with, and Kim, thank you so very much for your wonderful contacts. We're working with the ambulances and EMTs to figure out how we're going to have a good first aid and an ambulance there at their, and I don't even know if the ambulance needs to be there, but at least just on call so they know, what's going on. Porta potties, which Rob will have you do that because you're the man with porta potties. Media committee and distribution. Now, in 2019, we had a lot of you folks, reaching out to our media and, all those kind of things. We kind of brought that back into house because it's a lot of negotiation. And, with having a middle person out in the community, that's great. So if you do have any links to someone that you think, oh yeah, you guys should really contact these people because they'd be great, please feel free to share them with us. But we'll kind of take that back in house. And what we will ask all of you to do, and when you do leave, we do have posters and stuff out there that are all about the race. If you want to grab some and hang them up in your offices, places to hang out, wherever you see fit, please help us share this wonderful information. And we'll need a videographer, and we'll need a photographer, and of course a volunteer coordinator, for all of that. Sales and promo. Okay, so like what Kathy said, we want this to be be the biggest and the boldest and the best event that we've ever had. And we want, my goal is to have 30 boats. We're at 10 already. We're at 10. We only had 12 in 2019, so we have a huge jump start, especially with our wonderful title sponsors and we have many other sponsors also that are all looking at being boat sponsors and other,
At least that are real, true good possibilities.
Yes. Yes.
So sell boats too.
Yes. Yes. Get all your friends and have them in the boat. Have your family in the boat. You have grandma and grandpa and uncles and aunts and everybody in the boat. Because it doesn't matter what age you are. You can be in the boat. Well, I can't say that. You have to be 12. Which I think is quite funny because I'm about the size of a 12-year-old. So how come, or I'm actually the 8-year-old? How come an 8-year-old could be in the boat? But I digress. Sorry. This was the highlight of 2019. So a little story of 2019. During the race, we got to the third heat, and 2 teams came up to me and said, "We want you to go talk to our coaches, Liz, and we want the Can-Do boat to get a head start." So I went to the coaches and said, "Guys, this is what's going to happen. They want to have a head start." And I was in tears, and I'm going to tear now because it was amazing. When they won, the announcer played "We Are the Champions." And the whole team, Gary knows, that the whole team got out of the boat, and there wasn't I don't think there was a dry around me, and Sasson was one of the boats, and then it was, the ladies' boat, it was Lucy's boat, and the owner of Sasson, and his name escapes me at the moment, but he came up to me and he's like, "Liz, this is the most amazing thing I've ever done in my whole life, and we are back next year. There's no way we're going to miss this." And I am bawling. He looked at me and he said, "Are you okay? Oh my God, Liz, are you okay?" And I said, "Yes, I'm okay." It was such a heartfelt day, and having all of our wonderful clients. I mean, that is our mission, right? This is what we are here for, is to support all of our community, and the folks that we serve are just amazing people, and to have them all be a part of Dragons on the Rock, have them there the day of the event and be in a boat. A couple of our sponsors have actually donated their boats back to Can-Do so we can have Can-Do client boats. Gary has also sponsored a boat as well, and we're so excited. And we're so excited to teach our community about what we do and how we can support, people in our community. Because, really, how many times do we come up and, come upon someone, like for me, a blind person, I come up to a blind person next to, on the side of the road. I want to help them because, me, I'm a helper. I'm going to grab them and I'm going to help them across the road. You don't do that. You don't just come up to someone and help them. And those are kind of the things that we really want to educate our community about what Can-Do does, how we support people, how to interact with somebody with a disability, and what we can do to help. So, Can-Do can't thank you all enough for being here and being a supporter and a volunteer of our events. All of you, I think almost all of you have been a part of Can-Do for years, and we can't do it without you. We could do it without our sponsors and donors and everyone else. So on behalf of all of us, we thank you so very much, for being here. We really do. And on a side note, Andrew, who is the quiet guy standing over here on the side. Hello. Andrew worked at Best Events for 9 years, right?
8.5.
8.5, yeah.
Yep.
And along with our wonderful Rod. And Andrew was always my go-to guy. Always. And I ran into him when he was graduating from college, and I said, "Why don't you come work for Can-Do?" Sorry, Rod. And so now we have him on our team. So we're excited to have Andrew. So Andrew, of course, is one of our contacts. And then I know most of you know Lauren, our graphic artist. She's also going to be our contact for logistics. So please, at any time, reach out to any of us. So at this time, I would love to bring up Kelly and Gina, please. Kelly and Gina are wonderful volunteers. Well, you're all wonderful. I can't say that. Sorry. I'm sorry. You didn't. I just didn't. You didn't want to. So I asked both of these ladies to kind of just talk a little bit about their experiences. Both of them had completely different experiences. So I wanted them to share with you, especially for the ones that haven't been a part of the event yet, just kind of what everything, what it all entails. So who would like to go?
The fast talking one with about so much energy is her go first.
I'll unplug it.
I'm Kelly Willoughby, and I was very blessed last year to not only get to be a part of Dragons from the volunteer side, but I got to be in a boat. So it was a pretty awesome day. But as far as events and volunteering, it was so much fun. I mean, as Liz said, we kind of learned as we went. We had a really awesome committee, which I think almost everybody's here that volunteered last year with us too. But we did solely, we were on the festival side of it. So we were reaching out to the food trucks, to the vans, all those different things, moving parts, the bouncy house, stuff like that, just trying to think about what could be really fun for people that maybe want to come and watch dragon racing, don't want to be in the boat, but maybe now we can help raise funds for Can Do because they want to come see a band and they get food and have a drink and things like that too. So we had an absolutely amazing day, and I would say all the committees I've been on, I mean, we got to do so much, and it was so much fun even up to the day of, and it was really easy to do. Now, you look at all these different things on there, and it seems like a lot, it's very overwhelming, but when we've got all of you great volunteers on a committee together, and we kind of parcel things off, it works so seamless, and everybody got to be involved, so it was super awesome. That was my experience, and then being in the boat that day, I know it seemed kind of crazy to me too to have 20 people in a boat and how do you not tip over, right? I mean, everyone was in the water and we're like, I don't know about that, Kelly, but it was awesome. It was so safe from the minute you got in the boat and you just kind of got your wits about you and you just paddled. I mean, it was just one of those things where you just kind of got going, and that day with the clients, seeing them cross that finish line was amazing too. So it's just overall just a great time. We had a great event and we want to be bigger and better this year.
I think Kelly said it all. It was an incredible day. We were co-chairs for the festival and I lived in the audience, so most of our community here. Ella was a picture too. We became really good friends because we were so closely with each other. And it was a blast. We had no idea how it was going to turn out because it was the first time, but so I encourage you all to volunteer. We'll have a fun day. If we can do the same kind of weather that we had last year.
It's beautiful weather.
Yeah. So, welcome to the group. It'll be a fun day.
It'll be a great time.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you so very much. Well, and as the ladies were talking, I was thinking about our wonderful sponsors, and a lot of you out there in the audience are companies, that are our wonderful sponsors, and we couldn't do it, without you. As I look through, Joe from the bar, thank you for all that you do, for us, and Premier Bank, they're new to supporting Can Do, and ladies, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for sponsoring this wonderful event. We appreciate it so very much. Christine from the JCBD and Lori, thank you again for the wonderful grant we got in 2019, and they helped us facilitate this wonderful grant to reach out to the outside community and bring more tourists and bring more people to Janesville because we have a great community, right? And Mary from WCLO, WJBL, all of that, another huge sponsor. Kim Hesgard from Mercy Health. So give Kim and her team a huge round of applause because they won. And it's great about that. Gary, of course, is a huge supporter of ours. Gina with Tricor as well, a huge supporter and sponsors of ours. As I look around the room, we're humbled. We're humbled of the community that is a part of us, and of course Sarah, that with all that you do for our whole community, I don't know. The word is gratitude, and Kathy, when she first came to Can Do, her and I were talking about that, and Kathy is all about gratitude. And, I think that we need to figure out a new word for gratitude because we have it, we have it within our community, and again, we're just so very thankful and grateful. So now I would like to open it up. Do you all have any questions?
to Sergeant Moore yesterday. I met with him, and we're trying to get maybe a competition between the fire department and the police department, or the fire and police department together and challenging Beloit's fire and police department. So start to think about different ways that we, and they find sponsors for their vote, whether it be the union or whatever. But I think there are ways that we can incorporate municipalities, other organizations to challenge each other, and I think we could really have fun with that. So if you have any ideas like that, let Liz know, or myself. I think we could really get a lot of folks in there. I think, what can they do, up to 40, you said?
30,
Oh, 30,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
max.
Well, if we wanted it in one day, it's 30.
So let's do 30 folks.
Yeah. Elise, go ahead.
So last year we were I was working on something, sorry, so in the parking area, and we saw a lot of people coming, families and children. We had like 1 in 3 saw festival, and it was downtown. And it was really disappointing for them. So it was kind of a mix-up, I think, about the timing, what was going on. Because after the boat race, it seemed like everybody left. I mean, especially the folks that were rowing and so I guess that timing was kind of, it was the first year I understand that.
Yeah.
But just something to keep in mind.
Yeah, no, and thank you, Elise. Thank you for that feedback, yeah. And I'm excited to report too, for any of you who did run parking at 2019, you will not have to do that. Rock Aqua Days is actually taking that whole thing over, and we won't have to worry about parking. We're also going to have security guards there as well, helping us with the parking and also throughout the event. One of the things, as volunteers, I never want to put anybody into a predicament where you're going to be uncomfortable, right? So we are very protective over all of you, and we wouldn't let that happen. So we're getting better at looking at, ways to keep that easier. Anybody else have any other questions? Crickets. Oh, Lisa.
One thing is, I had 2 friends volunteering last year, and I don't think this is probably more part of the whole administration part. They didn't know what to do, where to sign in, they didn't know they had shirts, nobody was without lunch. So I think I think this was a great idea, and even making sure that all the volunteers know the schedule, what's going on, where to go, what to do.
Agreed. Totally agree. Yeah.
When they sign up.
Yeah, totally agree. And when all of you do leave today, we are going to have sign-up sheets out on the table. Don't feel like you have to sign up for which committee you want to do. Take them home, talk with your family, talk with your friends, get all of your neighbors, get everyone together who wants to be a part of the committee, and then email one of us. Andrew, I, Kathy, Lauren, email us and let us know. These are the people that are in. We just ask for Kim, go ahead.
Well, you can finish.
No, go ahead.
Well, I wonder, was it Brad who did the announcing last year? Who was your announcer?
We actually had a gentleman from a radio station, and we have a new announcer this year.
Well, that same format of how the announcements were made and the excitement in the air, they really brought a lot to the table. So it would be awesome to have that same energy come back. Not the same person, but the same, that same kind of messaging.
I'm going to let Kathy talk about the gentleman that she has a connection with, a huge connection with, who is our announcer.
I'm not sure, you probably know. Anybody know Captain Jack from the Eagle 96.7? So Captain Jack is going to be our MC this year, and they're also going to be a sponsor. So we really are trying to reach out into, the outlying areas and promote it to get really good attendance and some more sponsors too. So he will be our sponsor this year, and he's excellent.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, and Kim, I think Brad was from the Rock Aqua Days. Wasn't he the guy running the sound and all that?
Maybe.
I think so. I think he was. Because I graduated high school with him, so I'm having this brain dead at the moment. But right.
And I'm going to sponsor the vote for the clients.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Gary. Kristen, do you want to talk a little bit about what's going on with the tourism side and stuff with bringing people to Dragons? Or
I wanted to say thank you for creating an amazing event. When it's hard right now, events, it's really hard to navigate what you should do. And I had the same conversation with people doing the bike ride with you. I said, you just need to be brave and move forward, and you figure it out as you go. And if there's ever a team or an organization or a group of volunteers that can do that, that can, pivot and navigate and figure that out, it's all in this room. So I'm just really grateful today.
Thank you, Christine. That means a lot to us. Thank you. Thank you so much. Rod, would you like to have it?
I'm good. Thanks, obviously. I agree with Christine. You know, we've had a year of people doing nothing. They've been in their homes, they've changed their lifestyles. Everyone is really looking forward to feeling the community, getting involved in the festival, going outside, enjoying what the city has to offer. So I think we're going to do exceptionally well this year, simply because of the fact that everyone is more than ready for it. We've got to bring our A game to the table and get the community something to be proud of.
Amen. Amen to that. Yes, I've had to switch, not have our in-person events. And for us, we weren't able to host Grapes and Hops this year. We weren't able to do our fish fry this year. Last year, we did Grapes and Hops, and we did this new contest of creativity, that we rolled out. So all of us are, banding together trying to figure this out. So in lieu of the fact that we couldn't have Grapes and Hops and we couldn't have fish fry, what we decided to do is create a new golf outing event. And it's not really an in-person, I have to go to a golf course and I'm going to be there from 10 in the morning until 6 o'clock at night. It is golf carts that we're going to be starting to sell in the end of April, mid-April, end of April. And they're going to be tour cards, so Can-Do's golf tour. I'm very positive that I'm going to have 10 golf courses on the golf tour. We already have a big title sponsor. We have American Aluminum Extrusion as our title sponsor. We have other companies that do sponsorship packages within Can-Do, and they're in for the golf tour as well. So those are one of the things that we thought that would be an easy thing, that a golfer could go grab their wife, husband, whatever, and go golf, and it's on Can-Do. So what a cool way, to still support Can-Do, but you get to do it on your own time. You get to go and have fun and golf and not have to worry about being in an in-person event. And so our vision is for 2022 is to have a big in-person golf outing that we will invite people with disabilities to come and golf with the teams. So in a foursome, in a threesome, or whatever. Christine is really the first person I even spoke to about this, because I wanted to have someone else's, opinion on this great thing that I thought would be awesome, but wait, is it a good thing? You never know. You got to throw it out there, right? So in the planning of this golf tour, I've talked to all of the golf courses about this, except for a couple here in town. About getting a PGA gentleman or maybe a teaching pro to be there at the event and then help folks realize that they can still golf. We think about how many vets thought, well, I'm never going to be able to golf again. Maybe they will. Maybe they can. So we just want to keep working on it. And this is another thing that I love about, our whole team. As we have evolved, we just keep evolving. And the more that we are out in the community and partnering with each other. We're definitely not in competition together. We are here together to band together and to help our community. And the more that we can do that, more that we can uncover ways that we can do that, the bigger we're going to be, and the better our community is going to be. And the people in our community, everyone's just going to thrive. And how great is that? My husband always says I'm all rainbows and butterflies. So, but we got to work together, right? We got to work together to accomplish rainbows and butterflies. So. With all of you, I think we can make that true. So thank you all very much for being here. Thank you. And I guess I don't want to cut you off though. If any more questions? No? Okay. Well, you all have a wonderful day. Thank you again for being here. Stay healthy, stay safe, have fun, and let's go to summer, right?